Guys, Young D here once again with another YouTube video. Coming at you, like I said, with another remake video. But this time, unlike with the Nick Mira beat, we will not be able to just, copy and paste or screenshot a piano roll to find out what the melody, harmony is, etc. So for this particular case, we are not going to be doing a famous song yet. However, that will come in my following videos, so look out for that. I'll be doing a remake of Bad and Bougie, of, you know what? I can actually just check right now. This might take 1 minute, but I'll check for you guys really quickly. Come on. Nope, the password is not updated. Okay. Come on. Load. This is just a document of all of my aspirations and stuff like that, almost. Stuff that should be private, but whatever. Okay, so we're gonna have Bad and Bougie, Ransom, I Don't Know, Slat, I Can't Sleep, and Love Me More. So all decently popular songs that you should or will know about by the end of this, I guess, mini-series. But for today, we're just going to be cooking up with my first beat ever made in FL Studios, and that's going to be this beat, actually. We're going to be remaking it, so I'll play a little bit of it for you first. So this is what it sounds like. So that was just the beginning melody of the beat. But now, if we go into FL Studios, right? Okay, so you can see I already have the structure and everything laid out. Now, the goal of this is not only to recreate the beat, but make the beat a little bit better. So what I always like to do when I'm starting with the recreation of the beat is get the key and tempo first. So that's why if you saw before when I opened Chrome, I had a tempo tapper, because the tempo is dot 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 dot. So it's about 99. That's what I set it at, because if from when I remember when I created that beat, maybe when would have that been? Not a year ago, but maybe 9 months ago was when I created my first beat in FL. I can even remember, I have a pretty good memory, that it was around 99. So that's a good tempo to set it at. Now, I know it's in C minor because I have relative pitch, and I know what the pitch of C is. So we know we have a tempo of 99 and that we're in C minor. So that's good. So that means when we open up our harmony, you didn't get to hear that yet, but the harmony is the first part of the reconstruction that you're probably going to want to start with because it's the easiest. So for the harmony, we have a 1, 4, 5, 5, 5, 1. So the reason I know that it's that is because, one, that's an extremely popular pattern, as we covered in our music theory videos. Two, I love to use that pattern in all of my beats, like even until now. And three, I especially love to use it very early on in my beat making because it's what I would say is a very safe pattern. So anyways, if I go into here and I go into the harmony section of this, I went to channel rack and I said, okay, what is the what is the plugin being used to generate that sound. So I remembered it was a synth and that it was Syntris. So I dragged that in, so Syntris. And then I remember it, I know it's a synth string. So I actually just guessed and thought it was basic. And I turned out to either be right or close because the sound. Here, I'll turn it up a little bit for you. Sounds pretty similar. So I decided to stick with that. And then once you have that sound, you're going to open up your piano roll and you're going to plug in, like I said, 1, 4, 5, 1. But instead of that 1 at the end, I thought, it might be cool to add a 7 at the end of the first part of it and a 1 at the end of the second part of it. Also, I just realized that in the song, this went an octave up at one point, so that should actually be like that. Now we'll see if that sounds good and if everything potentially needs to go an entire octave down, but we'll see. We'll leave it like this for now, though. Let's just get rid of that note. Okay, so anyway, so that's the harmony. Pretty simple to complete, honestly, because this was a pretty simple beat. The melody for this beat was, let's see, let me open it back up. So, dun, dun, dun. So that's C, D, B flat. Dun, 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 dun. So that's ba da da. Here, wait. Sorry, let me play that one more time. D, B flat. Okay, C, D, B flat, A flat, ba A flat, A flat, B flat, A flat. What's that last note? Dun, 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 dun. That could be a D, I think. I'm not positive, though. So I'm not really that focused, to be honest. But either way, we'll figure it out more and better when we're in the piano roll. So let's go to that pattern, pattern 2. So we pulled that up. And you're like, wow, this looks way more complex than what we had just now. And that's because I decided to change the melody a little bit, slightly, because it was relatively very simple beforehand. So basically, let me try to figure this out. Everything here, everything below this, I can even cut it and then repaste it. This is what the melody was initially. And it's slightly different and slightly off. And the reason for that is I thought, some of those last notes could be better notes than what they are, or non-existent and stuff like that. So when I added the upper melody, or really it's more than just an upper melody, it's really overall, let me get rid of that note. It's so you have a lower melody here, that's one melody in itself. Then you have a middle melody here, that's the second melody in itself. And then you have the last melody, the high melody here. So low, medium, high. Okay, get rid of that note. So now everything together sounds much better than the original recording. So the original recording, again, very simple, just. And now we have. So I would say it sounds much better than the original recording. And by the way, how I knew that was a grand piano was mostly from memory, also just because if you listen to that, you can clearly tell that's just a poorly manipulated piano. So, anyways, after that, we have to move on to the drums, which is where this beat really diverges from where it began. So, or let's play let's play measures 9 through 17, just so you get a feel of what's going on here. So we have. I'm actually gonna go into the mixer, and I have this down to what? 3.9. I'm gonna make this. Make this 2.5. Now I'm gonna make it. It still sounds. Just do. Hold on. That's 1.9. That's 1. Alright, we're just gonna do 0.9 for this. Okay. Now how does it sound? No, it's still too soft. Alright. Maybe, hold on. Let me make sure I'm just. Oh, it's because that whole time I was not changing the right one. Okay. What was that at before? 3.9. Shoot, sorry about that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So minimize this a little bit. What do I need to change? So that's 2. So I need to change for grand piano 5. That makes sense because I could have sworn that that was at 6. That was at 6. Let's put this at. Let's put this at. Three. Let's see how that sounds. Even that's a little. Let's try it at. 2 might be better. Yeah, especially when that higher octave comes in, it really gets burned out. You know what? Do we have any of them? 7 even? No, let's just put it at nothing, and then we'll put the EQ at. Try this. Okay, that's too much, but put the EQ at. Now I want to see if. Okay. So, should this go down an octave? Is my question. So. No. Okay. I like it where it is. Let's leave it like that. Okay. And I think we're good for 9 through 17. Okay. So next what we're going to do is a drum beat, which is, like I said, where we really diverge from the main song. So in the main song, we just have a simple 2-step drum beat, which is what we have here. So I did that to kind of pay homage to the original main song, but then I realized that's way too slow for this type of beat, which maybe I didn't almost understand back then. So I decided to make it a, step every one, a 16-note drum beat that sounded like this. Okay. And then as for the bass drum that you just heard and the 808, those were simply just made. The 808 was made by taking the root notes of the bass melody, copying them, pasting them, slightly manipulating where they are, how they're laid out. Obviously, as you can see, if I paste them in, definitely manipulating them. And then, ooh, didn't mean to click that. And then the bass drum was taken, we took the 808 pattern, and then we copied it into the bass drum pattern. And we just, okay, so cut that down, made it a triplet, cut that down, moved it over, cut that down, moved it over, cut that down, added a few notes, etc., etc. So, yeah, so we kind of did what, like, Nick Muir almost would do, but just, changed everything just a little bit slightly, just to give extra variation and stuff like that. So I guess that pretty much concludes the tutorial on how I made this remake. I should probably show you the full original beat. I kind of don't want to because it's not very good, but all right, I'll go from 21, which is where the melody and harmony come in, because you've heard up to there, and then I'll just play you most of it, but I'm not going to play everything, because I also have to get to playing the other beat that I, remade this beat with, and I don't have a lot of time left. Or I do, but, I don't want to keep you guys here for too long, so let's play this. Also, the 808 is cringy in that song, too. I did not know how to mix well back then whatsoever, or even mix at all. So I hope this version, which I will start at around the same place, I'll start it right here. So as you can see, I really skipped around there. Sorry about that. But I think you got the general gist of the beat. How they were actually very similar, but also very different at the same time. And this one was obviously clearly much better. But speaking of mixing, I almost forgot. Just really quickly, I'll explain how I mix and mastered this. So for the master track, nothing here except the limiter and the balance. The limiter I just set as a noise gate, and the balance I just lowered a little bit, as well as lowering the physical volume of the master track. Then for let's see what this is. For the kick and 808, I added compression, a limiter, let's see, ascend to control the dryness and wetness, and some wave shapers to kind of just distort the 808 so that it sounded a little bit better, as well as the bass drum. And then next, I did a compressor, limiter, and Panomatic. And the Panomatic, you can pan to one side. I did not. I just kind of used it as a gain thing. For the next one, I just did. Oh, and for number 2, that was for the perks. So the clap, the rim, the snare, etc. For number 3, for the hi-hats, I just did a compression limiter. Nothing too big there. For number 4, this is where it gets interesting. I did, oh wait, number 4 is not even involved here. Sorry. For number 5, I did, compression limiter. I did a simple EQ, cutting out the lower and higher frequencies of the piano, mainly the higher frequencies that I didn't like. For number 6, or not number 6, for the next part of number 5, I did a reverb, and I put it in a hall setting where you would generally hear a piano, and then I just added a classic flanger to give it some extra flair. I did pretty much the same thing on the strings as I did for the piano because they're similar orchestral instruments. The only difference was the reverb I put in a venue setting, as I would say that's probably more of a conventional setting of a string instrument than of a grand piano generally. So that was pretty much it for all the mixing and mastering. I will get that next video to you. I believe it was either Bad and Bougie or Ransom or I Don't Know. I Don't Know is the name of the song, by the way, not I Don't Know what it was. But, and that's either Bad and Bougie by the Migos, Ransom by Little Tecca, or I Don't Know by Little Tecca as well. So I will let you know what that is, or you'll see that in the video. Sorry for this extra length of this video. I didn't intend for this video to be this long. It kind of just turned out that way. I actually intended it to be much shorter, believe it or not, less than 10 minutes, but I will try to do that with these other remaking videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and comment if you can or would like to. And have a good one. Peace. Be good people.